the ultimate in the psych friendship, in the psych bromance. This is our leader, Steve Franks.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. There he is! This is where it all started, everybody. Steve Franks.
Andy, there's a small problem.
Uh-oh.
James and Dulé are in this, right?
James and Dulé are in this, but
aren't I also in this?
you are absolutely, that's why I'm bringing you out.
Okay, now, I want you to just turn around for a second.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Tell me what you notice.
I don't see any hats, so...
There's 3 waters. Nailed it. Nailed it with the waters.
James's pillow, that made it out here.
I'm 6'8", so
6'8".
Is that glass table gonna hold me sitting on it for 1 hour?
Wait a minute. Wait for it.
Here we go. Hold on. Is this a union thing?
There we go.
I guess I'm sitting next to James.
Well, Steve, I've warmed them up. You're in good hands. This is your people. This is your family. They're all here. Please enjoy. Enjoy it, everybody.
Andy, come back for a second. We have a little secret that we want to reveal to everybody here. We've been putting on a ruse the entire weekend, and we wanted to come clean about it, and I think it's time. About 1.5 years ago, we went on a nationwide search for a guy that was 6 inches taller than I am. We hired 3 different companies to track this person down. Unfortunately, in the United States of America, this person doesn't exist. So we went to Norway, and in a small town of Bergen, we found an individual. His name was psychFANcisco. He didn't speak a word of English. We flew there, rented a house, and taught him English simply by watching Boston Blue. And we gave him the name Oliver. And tonight the magic has paid off. Oliver, come up. Let's everybody get a picture with our plants.
There he is.
It's amazing. Bring it in right here. Look at that. All your dreams come true. It's the magic of believing. And now to continue, the most talented 2 people in the history of this stage. James Rodriguez. And a person you may know as Dulé Hill.
All right. What's happening, psychos? I'll sit over here.
I've never been on this side of the stage. This is exciting.
Look at that. We gotta flip it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Have you all had a good time this weekend? All right.
This is always the best one, right? Because everyone's loose, right?
Especially loose if the bottle of Tito's from your Making Cocktails with Jimmy Simpson was left in the green room and you can continue making cocktails.
That panel was at 11 something.
Cheers to all of you.
Yes.
We've had an amazing time this weekend, and we couldn't be more grateful for everything that you people have brought to us. And we have questions.
Who are you calling you people?
Anyway. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. This is amazing. Thank you. Oliver.
It was a good run, man.
Oliver, I'll see you in the car.
We got away with the Frederick Douglass joke. Just be happy. Go.
Take it easy. I'm back. I was canceled only that long. I was talking to the, yeah, there we go. We've had an amazing time, and we want to answer your questions because in a lot of my panels, we hardly get to any of the questions. So, and last panel, we realized for the first time that GA meant the section you were sitting in. And,
oh, really?
And we didn't have
I thought everyone was from Georgia.
We thought, I couldn't believe how popular we were in Georgia.
Oh, you guys planned this? You all came together? That's so cool. You should have just done it in Atlanta. That would have been a lot easier, right? If everybody was there already.
Psych 2027, ATL.
So we're happy. We finally figured it out, and here we've only got an hour left. So let's get to some questions, and let's talk about how amazing these two guys are. All right. This one's from Minderella. She says, I have a navigation system where I can record my own prompts for things like turn left, turn right, etc. If you could provide Psych catchphrases for a car navigation program, which would you use? For example, well, Minderella, what you giving him give him the answer. Should I read it? Okay, I'm being told to read it. I envision a U-turn as really the 11-point turn.
I like that.
Is there anything you would use for a turn-by-turn?
I would say, for a turn-by-turn, if you've gone the wrong way, I would say, come on, son. You know you turned the wrong way.
Or it's semantics.
Yes.
I can also get there by going this way.
Maybe if you were rerouting, I would say, I've heard it both ways.
For Ashlyn from R34, were there any aspects of the real-life James and Dulé dynamic that influenced the Sean and Gus dynamic?
Not at first, because we didn't know anything about each other. I knew he did some bullshit show about the government. And he knew I'd done a bunch of shit that no one had ever seen. But that's really all we knew about each other.
But I had seen those shows, though.
And that says a lot more about you than it does about me. But as the show went on, absolutely, all of our bits made it into the show.
Pretty much, yeah. The one that's always my favorite is the one where something that's fairly simple to open up, we should be able to open, but we have a hard time doing. For example, like this bottle. Right here, you'd be like, oh, you open it up. You'd be like,
That was a favorite of Steve and Chris's.
They hated it. Hensy and Steve hated that bit.
Which we had to retire it for a while, which I said in my little round table today. I was like, we had to let it go, we had to pick our battles. But then once we were like a hit show, we came back. There's nothing you can do about it now, big man.
And if you do it like 10 times throughout the episode, it has to make it into a 2 You can't cut it all.
Well, here's the thing. Our show is 42 minutes and 39 seconds long. And 7 times adds a full minute and a half. But Hensy disliked it much more than me. And my only problem was like, hey, someone's bleeding out on the floor there. Would they really be going?
Screw caps are tough, man.
They are. Who knew?
Amelia from Georgia.
From Georgia or section GA?
There's that. What scene was the most difficult to get through?
Well, mine is well documented. It was the only time I broke multiple takes in the history of our show. It was when we were doing the lock, stock, and whatever you called it.
All I want is some spotted dick.
I couldn't do it, guys. I knew it was coming every single time, and I broke every single time. I've never had that hard of a time getting through a scene ever. It just got me and it wouldn't let go. And he knew it, so he was leaning into it.
All I want is some spotted dick. Do it again? Oh, let's go again. All I want is some spotted dick.
Like, that's not how you would say it because you don't understand that it's innuendo. You think you're talking about the cake.
Anyway, that was mine.
I think we have all those takes on film too.
Oh my God, that episode, it was our last season. We knew it was the last season. We had all 8 episodes broke. We knew we were gonna we had to shoot the finale 5th or something. We shot that 2nd, and it was this moment of unbelievable lightness before the sort of emotional turn, and I've never laughed so hard on that shoot because there was so much funny stuff going on. And I think the reason you were so ramped up to laugh, 5 minutes before we shot that scene, we had him improv stealing Nigel's meat pie from the and it was just scripted as he goes in and shoots it, and Dulé's like, I got something. I go, oh, do it. And he did a whole magic trick where he made it disappear, and it was turned around where James in that episode has to be the straight guy, a lot of it, even to Despero, and you're like, stop it, that is Nigel's meat pie, and you performed. It was like one of the great vaudeville 5-minute acts of all time, and it was hilarious. And I was like Charlie Chaplin and like every bit of great silent comedian wrapped into one. And I think we were just giggling the rest of the day because of that. And it was so good and so fun, and it's one of the most special memories I have of that show is shooting that episode.
And I was just glad to know that Rodé could finally break. You know, after 8 seasons, it was like, come on, there's got to be something that can make this cat crack, you know? Who knew it would be spotted dick?
Who knew? I
didn't. He made you break again on a look at the end when we're doing that scene at the end, at the very end of the episode, where you look out and you see the homeless guy and you realize, you think you're postulating that.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And he says, you could be the Tiger Richard winner from The Life of Pi.
Oh, yeah.
The Tiger Richard Parker. And you looked at him and went, James broke twice in that?
Yeah, I'm glad you spun that, because for a second people thought that you thought homelessness was funny. That wasn't going to be a great look for you to end on.
You know, here's the thing.
I should have to get up and walk out once again, Steve.
I should never do the last panel. Okay.
I'll let you slide on the racist shit, but that's where we draw the line.
The idea is this guy they thought was the head of British intelligence, and then there's a homeless guy outside, and you're arguing that the homeless guy is a guy who's undercover, right, and you couldn't decide if you were being deceived or not. And so he chose to believe, and by the way, I ended this episode on a very high note of, what do you choose to believe? Do you want to believe the myth, or do you want to believe that people would deceive you? And that's where I went, and now
themes, you guys. The show wasn't just silly. There were themes.
It was themes.
Every episode, we wanted to make you think.
Yes.
We wanted you to turn to your partner, or your bestie, or your mom, or your dad, or your teenage son or daughter and say, what do you think? What do you believe?
We want to teach you something about life and about humanity as a whole.
You didn't even know it was happening.
LEG from Stage Right B6. Where are you? Hello. All right. As you know, Sean and Gus are known to love food and have to eat constantly. Was there a food you had to eat take after take and ate so many times that you haven't eaten it since because you got so sick of it?
Ooh, I don't know if I've gotten so sick of it, but probably because I don't really know how to make it. And don't hate me, everybody. But it would be cuatro quesos dos fritos. I don't think I've had it since we actually ate it on the show.
There's a heaviness to it.
Yeah. But I don't know how to make it. Also, I'm getting older, you know what I mean? I don't think that's really good for my veins.
I remember that not holding up well under the lights as well.
That is true. You have to eat cuatro quesos dos fritos right away. Don't let it sit for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes under some lights because it's not going to be...
DoorDash that shit. That's not...
No.
It doesn't travel.
Lisa Ursula? Ursula. In H36, how you doing, Lisa?
From the great state of H36. What? All the way from H, you guys.
What is the worst good advice you've received from each other?
The worst good advice. Me and Tim Amundsen, we always have this thing, because there used to be a bar right across the street from the Sutton place in Vancouver called the Winking Judge. And that was our hangout. That's where we did maybe 25 shots with John Cena.
Where John tried to kill us.
Yes, and we had to try to go to work the next day, but we were both all of us were terribly hungover, but wanted to be really cool because it was Cena. So we act like we were fine, but we really weren't. But me and Amundsen would go to that bar all the time, and when we would think about getting one more round of drinks, we would always do this thing where we would say, "Nothing good can come of this." And that is the worst good advice, because it's terrible advice. Nothing good can come of this. I mean, what is this, like tattooed on your arm? Like, what's happening? But the idea of nothing good can come of this is actually good advice, because you got to know your limits. And that would be our limits to each other, saying, nothing good can come of this.
When I met Dulé, he was a married man, a man of faith, a man of great moral construct. I was more of a heathen. And I remember he looked at me pretty early on and said, "Don't act married till you're married."
That is good advice, though, isn't it? I mean, for all the married folks out there, I'm just saying, would you agree? Don't act married until you're married.
I took that shit to heart. And I still follow it today. Thanks, Dulé.
You're welcome. Question mark?
Lot of wisdom sitting in that chair.
From Anonymous. Where are you, Anonymous? Everybody gets credit for this question. Sean and Gus wore several costumes over the course of the series. What was your favorite and least favorite costumes? That's a great question.
That's awesome. I don't think we've ever had this question before.
Oh, I don't think so.
That's awesome. I know my favorite for both of us, where we got to come out and see each other and enjoy it, was when we were Lestat and Black.
That's where I was going to go too. I was going there too. Making a Bloody Mary.
That was so silly.
Yes, that was ridiculous.
And so fun. And he was just cracking me up, just looking at him with the hair and the sideburns, the mutton chops. Oh my God, it was good.
It was just too much. But it was so perfect, you know? Make it a Bloody Mary. I must have said that maybe like 100 times each day, and Rodé and I would crack up every time.
Did you have a least favorite?
A least favorite? Probably the one that had those long ass arms. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yes, and the reason why I hated it was because I had those long ass arms. Trying to hold up those long ass arms are not a lot of fun.
That's fair.
James, was there anyone that you didn't like? Generally, if I can interrupt you for a second, before I give you a moment to think.
All right.
Generally, if there was any kind of costume, I would get a call from James in advance, because you would have a better idea on what the costume might be. And so by season 3 or 4, if there was a costume, I'd call him the day before we were done with the script, and I'd say, all right, what do you want to do with this, to get your input on it?
Costumes were all pretty fun. I'd just throw Andy under the bus again and say that it wasn't really a costume, but just being soaking wet while fully,
oh my God,
while fully clothed was my least favorite
Andy
costume.
Berman, come on up.
There got to a point.
This is gonna be so great.
They got to a point in the show though where both Rodé and I were like, no more. We're not jumping off this boat and getting into this damn lake. No, we're not doing it.
Guys, that episode that Andy directed where we all jumped off the balcony of the hotel, you just have to freeze frame it because
it's not us. You know how, they say, This Is Us, that great hit show? This was not us.
the shot, the way they did the shot was so obvious. Like you could see all the profiles of our stunt doubles.
He said, no.
Dulé's stunt guy was white. It was fucking hysterical.
No. Do you have any thoughts on this, Andy Berman? Do you have any thoughts on this? It's all true, he says.
How about Andy Berman, though, guys? We love that guy, and not just because we can play catch with him. We love him because we love him.
I think I can jump in also. I know I wasn't addressed, but I'm really feeling left out for just a second with Anonymous. I had a favorite and least favorite costume.
Okay.
Far and away, my favorite was the chimney sweep outfit that I got to put on. And I got to put on a 3.5 foot high hat to go with that, which actually made me taller than Oliver for just a short period of time in my life. And my least favorite costume was when James asked me to be a zombie in Nightmare on State Street.
I believe you were a farmer.
Yes, I was a farmer zombie. But James was so smart about it because he actually put me in the pot of water and turned the heat up slowly. He says, "Hey, I got a roll for you." And I go, "Oh, that's awesome." And a week later, he goes, "You're going to be a farmer." And I go, "Oh, farmer? Okay, cool. I can wear overalls. That's fine. I'll know they'll fit." And he goes, "You're going to be a zombie farmer." I go, "Zombie farmer sounds cool." And he goes, Yeah. You're also going to have makeup on." I go, "A little bit of makeup? Okay, cool." And then I got there, and they go, "You got to come in 4.5 hours early." And I go, "Oh, why? Does James want to hang out and talk and pat ourselves on the back?" He says, "No, you're going to be in makeup." And I go, "Oh my God, that's going to be great. Oh, you're going to have to make a fist." And I go, "Why do I have to make a fist?" "Oh, you want to get a mold of my hand?" He goes, "No, your hand's going to be in this fist for the next 12.5 hours because your fingers are gone." And I go, well, don't we do that later? He says, "We don't have time to do that later. We'll put your fingers back in digitally." And I said, "We can't take my fingers out." He goes, "No, make the fist." So I did that, and I go, "Okay, this is fine. This is great. It's the last thing we're shooting on there." And they go, "Okay, now lean back. We're going to put the white contacts in your eyes." So I looked through these white contacts that made everything look like I was looking through like a half-filled bottle of milk the entire night. And then we did that till 4:30 in the morning.
And then you did your zombie walk, and I had no notes.
I worked up a zombie walk, and if you guys go back to the episode, I've never been more proud of anything I've written. It's just the zombie walk. All right, Callista from Georgia as well. So I think she's from Tilden, Georgia, one of my favorite small towns.
She's from Section, Georgia, a tiny little town
Called Section.
right outside of Augusta.
Yeah, it's an aerospace town. I know they make.
Everybody knows Section, but nobody's actually from Section. But Callista is. That's awesome.
2 stoplights in the whole town. Make the best darn banana bread you've ever tasted. One of my favorite parts of the show is the relationship between Sean and Gus. What are some of your favorite bromances in pop culture media that you took inspiration from to create the awesome relationship between Sean and Gus?
Ooh.
It's a good one.
I always liked Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
In anything.
Yeah.
That was a great one. I know when Steve was writing the pilot, he had Ferris and Cameron in mind. That's a pretty good one. Butch at Sundance, not bad.
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise is pretty good.
Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. Come on.
Hell yeah. Robert Downey Jr. and Val. And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, that's pretty good. Yeah.
But I will tell you the truth, for me, I took so much inspiration from my brother, Bert, and his best friend, Bert, growing up. Because his best friend was me, and my brother was Sean. And I was a younger brother, so I saw all of that. I was like, it's these two jokers.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, of course. That didn't need to be said because everyone knows that. That's like the foundation.
Didn't need to be said. I didn't give you guys enough credit, I'm sorry.
Okay, from Detective Stage Right P4, Pearl? Is that Pearl Bobbin? I think I probably got both of those wrong. Are you here? Did I get it right?
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay, all right. What was your favorite Psych commercial or promo you got to act in? Oh, that's a good question. Never had that before.
Don't you forget about me. Don't. That one. Oh, no, there's one more too, though. Private eyes, they're watching you. That one was so much fun. I enjoyed that one a lot.
I think it was Don't You Forget About Me, just because that video is so ridiculous. Recreating it was fun. Yeah.
Yes, both of those were like absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, but you know what else was good was Ebony and Ivory.
Oh yeah. What I loved was being able to like recreate, like try to take as much of the original video and recreating it. I looked forward to it every time we had a chance to do it.
Those are so fun. And the funny thing is they'll show up on your Instagram feed randomly and they're like, oh wow, we did do that.
Right.
And it's great.
But even more so, I can't hear those songs without being brought back to our videos. I'm like...
Kelsey from C29, do you have a favorite Sean and Gus whisper fight?
Oh man, that's a good one.
There's the one at the table in the diner across from Mary in Yin before we get up and leave, and that's the one that I can remember right now.
And that's the one we'll go with. What I did love about our whisper fights though, were they were utterly ridiculous. Because we would just turn around and people still standing right there and we're like, okay.
In the end, we actually tried to get people closer to you to make it even more ridiculous. What was the one you guys had in the Bollywood episode? The food was so hot and if I'm remembering wrong, you guys would know, but that was art. That one.
That was the most artful?
Yes. All right, Emma from Georgia as well. Let's say she's from Blue Ridge. You two have had experience with both theater and television. Which do you prefer, live acting or film?
Ooh. I will say, at the foundation from just the creative, artistic standpoint, I still do enjoy theater the most. There's something about having to do it every night and delivering it that really gets my blood flowing. But what I do love about television is how the character grows over time. The story is always evolving and there's never really an end until the series is done. So, and I do enjoy the pay on television much more too.
Yeah, I mean, we both started in theater, and I would say the thing that I loved so much about Psych was the freedom that we had to make every take different, and that's what theater is. Like, every show is different, every night is different. It's like, you know, jumping out of a plane without a parachute, and a lot of times you don't get that feeling when you're making a film or television, because if you mess up, you just go back and do it again. Yeah, and depending on who you're working with as a director, sometimes you can do it 100 times, and you're ready to gauge, you know, rip your eyes out of your head. But with theater, you get one shot every night. You got one shot at it. Whatever happens, happens. And that's pretty exhilarating. So, yeah.
I think it's the immediacy of it, because you're right here, like when you're doing television, it goes through so many layers. You have what you film on the set, you have all these different takes. You gotta see which take the editor and the director uses, and then the studio has their notes, and then the network has their notes, and you finally get to the final episode. But stage, it's just you and the audience. And actually the energy that the audience gives affects your performance and vice versa. So I love the, what's the word?
Immersive, yeah. It's for all of us together.
And that's what I appreciate about it.
Yeah, we're making theater together. Steve doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't. He's from Orange County. They don't really, yeah. This question's for us more than it is for you. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to go see a play. I've heard there's a thing called The Play That Goes Wrong.
This is a very good play, though. I love that play, actually.
It's very funny.
I'll start with the one that goes wrong, and then I'll figure out what happens after that. All right, Charlie from F1.
He knows speed.
Yes. Were there any lines or scenes in particular that were really hard to film without laughing?
You know mine.
In particular, oh man, I'm trying to think.
I know you. I mean, you came to me at one point in Nightmare on State Street and was like, "I can't scream anymore."
Those are always the hardest. Yeah, the screaming. Yeah, the screaming was always the hardest. I mean, just try doing that a lot. Just try doing it like 10 times, you know? You know? So it wasn't so much about like remembering the lines, but doing that scream, you know, was pretty challenging each time, you know? I would go with that one.
All right, here's a question you're not gonna like. Scott from Psychic Stage Right D. At the first PsychCon, my sister observed that Sean and Gus seemed to mirror Steve and Chris in a lot of ways. Thoughts on that? A coincidence, perhaps? One of you has to be me, and one of you has to be Chris.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I would be Henzi, maybe. My hair was lower, and Henzi is bald. He has this, which makes him almost as tall as Steve Franks. You know? I mean,
you guys have like a fun thing. You guys have known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
You can play off each other. You guys make fun of each other. It's, you know, it's fun and it's loose. So I guess it could be that. I mean, you know, Dulé and I love to take the piss out of each other, and you guys can do that. And
yeah.
yeah.
All right, Scott, we accept. Sure. Sarah from G30. I was born the same year that Psych started airing, thus making me a lifelong fan.
Hey.
How does it feel knowing your show has had that kind of impact on its audience?
Old.
Yeah.
But also grateful. Very grateful that the show could have generations, that there are people who could be born the year that Psych came out and still enjoy Psych 20 years later. It's truly a thing that warms my heart.
100%. We were doing photos earlier, and there was, you know, there's this trio of young ladies that I gave them a name on social media, like back in the day when I was on social media, and I called them the Tracy Flicks because they were annoying as shit, but in a fun way. And they came through and had their photo taken with Maggie and I, and they called us Grandma and Grandpa. You know, and if things had gone a certain way, I guess technically, if you do the math, it's possible. But I will say this in all seriousness, we talk about this all the time. The fact that the best fans in the world keep showing up with like new generations and passing the show along to younger people just blows us away. Like when we get stopped anywhere or when we come here with you guys and we have, you know, 12, 13, 14-year-olds coming to us, that is definitely not something that we thought was going to happen when we were making this show.
Not at all.
It's phenomenal, and that has everything to do with you guys. So.
We are forever grateful for each and every one of you.
And the best thing is when this weekend, people coming up and saying, you know, I introduced this to another generation, and to my grandparents. And my question is always, how does anybody get any of these references? They were old when we started writing them.
And I didn't get them back then.
Amy Neiman, oh my gosh. A25 in the front row.
Front row, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Amy.
What personality trait do you share most with your character, and what personality trait does your character have that you absolutely don't?
I like to eat. Yeah, I'm a foodie, and I will eat and keep on eating. You put some food in front of me, if it's delicious flavor, I'm going to eat it. Simple as that. And the one that I don't have, I don't really have a super sniffer. Yeah, Jasmine has a super sniffer. It's really impressive sometimes. But no.
That's why you have separate bathrooms.
No comment.
Oh man, you know what? Sean uses humor, I think, to deflect and avoid serious conversations. I've certainly done that my entire life. And ironically, I am the least hyper-observant person that you'll ever meet.
That is true.
Yeah. Yeah. I can have GPS on my screen in the car, and I'll still miss 2 exits.
I think
This is why Suck It needs to be on the GPS with our voices. Just for Rodé. You know what, Rodé? Suck it. You're lost.
Richa from B15? Richa. Oh. If you could add an episode to Psych that is just pure chaos, what would happen?
I don't know if it would be pure chaos or not, but I've always wanted to do a speed walking episode. For years, I'm like, speed walking. Sean and Gus in a speed walking competition would be genius. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? I think I might have pulled a hamstring.
That's pretty good, man. You think about some of the episodes we did that didn't work. Why didn't we do that instead? What?
It was right there.
We could have done that instead of baseball. Shit.
All right, when we reboot the show, Dulé, I want you to come down to the writer's room. Let's knock some of these out. Okay. James, do you have one that you think would be chaos? Well, the next one. Oh, did we get through all the questions?
Is that it for questions?
Yes, we did it. Oh, this
typed yes.
This is fantastic.
Like Alexa. Did we finish with yes?
I did not know that this screen was sentient.
Yeah, it was. Shit.
But you have to say your.
Well, one of the things that we used to throw around was doing like a clip show. If you don't know what a clip show is, a lot of shows do that when they run out of ideas. Where Sean and Gus are tied up and they start, reminiscing about all the cases that you never saw. And many times we thought about doing that just because we wouldn't have to make whole episodes. We would just make the climaxes of the craziest shit we could think of as one scene each. Do you guys think that's funny? Oh, okay. All right, so we'll do a clip show and a speed walking show. Except it'll be Braff and Faison, but you guys will still dig it. It'll be funny.
We have 24 minutes left to fill.
Yeah, they say, hey, make it about you guys. Open to audience questions.
I love that.
Yeah.
Who has something? Are there mics out there?
Are there mics?
Oh,
Do you bring mics out?
The gentleman standing right there. Right, sure. Yeah, you just sat down. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk loudly.
Oh, there we go. We got mics.
You seem to have a very large fan base. We're all here from flying around the country and even the world. What is the real hang-up, if you're allowed to talk about it? For Psych 4, for a reboot, seems like you got plenty of juice, right? Is that wrong?
I don't think that's wrong at all.
We agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. I think the hang-up, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are corporate conglomerations that own the studios, and it's really the powers that be have to decide to want to do it. Really, I think in the end it comes down to Peacock. If you reach out to Peacock and let Peacock know that you want something done, then maybe eventually they will decide to.
Here's the thing. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but it's Peacock. And here's the reality. The reality is they know that those of you who already have Peacock accounts, they've got you. So they're not worried about you. And what they need to understand is that they should be worried about you. Because if you don't get more of what you want, you're going to say peace out. And if you started piecing out, then maybe they would be like, oh shit, what happened? Well, you stopped making Psych, that's what happened.
There it is.
I hope that goes viral. I can finally move to Iceland and quit the business.
Now let me spend 30 seconds walking that back a little bit. There's various economic factors and churn and people come in, but I am the eternal optimist. Everything is roses and rainbows to me, so I believe it will happen. I think there's a time where they got to try certain things there, and the reason that, Journey events coming to us and asking us to do these cons, it's an opportunity for us. It's to connect with all of you, to keep this brand alive, to keep the excitement going, and to show in real time, every moment of the day, why it's so important that these people be on your television. Because talent like this is too good to waste on unlimited viewing opportunities. We need the whole world to be able to see this at all time, and I believe it will come around, and it's because of you continuing to come, and the excitement and all the energy you bring to this that feeds us, that makes the whole thing work. So you guys are the ones that are going to make it happen.
All right, let's start going fast. I want to get as many of these as we possibly can.
So food plays such a big part of the show. For over a decade, I've been trying to figure out, what is the cinnamon pie from Dual Spires? Like, what did you guys eat? Or do you have a cinnamon pie?
It was pumpkin pie with cinnamon on top. We didn't bake it special, but thank you for going with us on that.
All right, who's got the microphone? Bring it to the next one.
Okay, real quick, is Maggie Bloom from your most recent show a tribute to Maggie Lawson? And more importantly, will Carnell Tate make Cam Ward a pro quarterback?
Part one, I don't believe DJ Nash had ever seen an episode of Psych, so no. But it was weird. Part two, I sure as hell hope so, and I'm about to take Carnell Tate in my rookie dynasty draft, so fingers crossed for all of you Titans fans out there. That's football talk, you guys.
Yes. See, that's why we do a speed round. All right, we ready with the next one?
Yep, over here. Okay, so I was recently doing an umpteenth rewatch, and I could swear that there were some influences from the movie Enemy of the State. Could have been wrong, but we know of the more obvious references, homages, but what are some of the more subtle or secret ones that were slipped into the plots from your favorite movies or TV shows?
There are so many. And by the way, that was an Enemy of the State reference. We did a reference from the movie Safe Men that not a single person on our crew or in the editing understood, but we thought was great.
We heard the second click.
Yes. There were. If we wanted to add something, the more obscure the better. So you name it. We probably named nearly every movie that we loved at some point in our childhood, and every actor that we loved. And we didn't generally reference things that we didn't like and respect. It was always out of adoration and the long-term hope of getting that person to be drawn into our show.
Hence, going back to my previous statement of half the time I didn't know what was going on. Now I would have to ask them, what is going on?
What is your favorite choreographed scene in the musical?
In the musical was the opening number where we Santa Barbara skies. It was so much going on in that number, and it all came together so wonderfully. The way it was shot, the choreography, all of it. I appreciated that episode a lot.
Agreed. It was a lot to pull off. It was very ambitious. Everybody was awesome. It was great, and the opening number all that entire experience was Steve Franks, 100%. But what I will say, even though it didn't involve a ton of choreography, I think the song that maybe doesn't get as much credit as some of the other songs that I freaking love is the one between Yang and Mary. Inspired by Les Mis.
There's a little Les Mis in that one. And by the way, if I could answer the choreography one as well, when you're making up a song, there's a moment that's sort of a spotlight where we had track laid out. We had multiple cameras going back and forth. The real production part of the thing, and what you were doing on that stage was so amazing. And I go, this is great. We're going to get all this, but then you insisted on tapping down the stairs, and it was. I don't think people appreciate how dangerous that is, because that set was not built with that in mind. They just built it and it's an incredible feat.
It's a big deal, because Dulé doesn't really like to put out there that he's a tap dancer. So, you know what I mean?
Keep that in the back pocket. But anytime, you have some stairs, you always try to give homages to Bill Bojanicles Robinson, Gregory Hines, who would always do it. So I just wanted to at least add my little something to that, to all of those wonderful tap dancers.
Hi. Hi, hello. My question was, you alluded to it earlier about just how many references and obscure references you put in the show. Were you ever worried about that being a crutch, or basically, would you prioritize making an original story first and then adding the references, or would the references come first? Yeah, just how hard it was to balance that. Thank you.
I would say it was a crutch for the episodes that weren't very strong. And it came later for the ones that had really good mysteries. Does that feel fair?
I mean, I think one hand feeds the other, because it's fun when you have a template. I've never seen an episode come together so, Andy, you can speak to this, so easily as Last Night Gus. And it had the template of The Hangover in it. So for that, thank God we had that template, because it allowed us to expand and do all these amazing things with our actors without having to carry the weight of here's what the setup is. And very similarly in Here's Lassie. We had the structure of The Shining. It's not a lot like The Shining, but we had so much on that allowed us to do great, amazing things, like the chase there through the underground laundry room area, and moments like the blood filling up in the light, and all kinds of really cool stuff and really, really funny, great stuff.
Versus something like the circus episode, where we're on paper, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe we haven't done the circus yet. And then we realize we don't have any money, and what the fuck is that gonna be? So we better load it up with some references, right?
It was one of the things we really thought we had something magical.
And you've got really long arms. We've got it.
And literally everything we tried to do, we can't do that, we can't do that. We had to scale it back. We had to chase through a storage facility for outhouses that were supposed to take up like a whole city block, and it was a labyrinth.
Couldn't get anybody from Cirque du Soleil. We just couldn't get it, guys.
Yeah.
Fair question.
Good question.
Was Carrie Ellis or Despero, which came first? And was Mandy Patinkin ever on the wish list?
Well, Carrie was born before we came up with Despero. But he was the very perfect choice for it. And that was something Andy and I really wanted to come up with, the gentleman thief and international man of leisure. And that was actually, and just a guy that you didn't know throughout the course of the run that if anything he said was true or not. And he was just the perfect choice for it. And it was so fun that we made 4 of them and hoped to make more. By the way, if you get the microphone and you get a question and you're from Georgia, please identify, because that would be amazing.
Dulé, on the show, Sean gives Gus many nicknames. What was your favorite?
I always say Gus Silly Pants Jackson. I really, really, really love that one. I don't know why. Maybe because, he's a Jackson and I like doing the moonwalk. You know what I mean? I don't know. But that was always one of my favorites. And then my second would probably be Lavender Gooms. Yeah, and that's because that's named after my great aunt. It was my grandmother's cousin. And once I found out that was her name, I was like, you know what, we gotta get this in the show. And we put it in the show and I never told her until it came into the air. And it was very funny for the family to hear it.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm not from Georgia, from San Antonio, Texas. Have you guys ever put like a line or an idea in the show that a fan said? Because my sister and I, one time, were just shooting the shit and accidentally came up with something that we're pretty sure is not in the show. And it's like something happens and Sean would say, they're star-crossed lovers like Romev and Julieta. And then Gus would say, it's Romeo and Juliet, Sean. So have you ever put anything in that was inspired by a fan?
I mean, if we didn't, like, shame on us. Because you guys have given us so much over the years, so we should come up with some kind of, I don't know, like a raffle or something where everyone can submit lines and we'll just put it in the next thing. That feels like a thing we should do, right?
That should be the thing for like the next movie. It should be like a don't be contest or something like that.
That's a great idea. We're gonna try to make that happen. Should James have not burned every bridge we had with the people?
Hi, I'm over here. I'm not from Georgia, sadly. My name is Azita, and I had a quick question. It's in relation to the TV show. Gus used to have an ex-girlfriend, Rachel, I believe, and she had a son, and she was originally from England. I noticed in the series that when I watched it, the character that played her, or the actress, was in the Bend It Like Beckham movie, which you guys referenced, and that the father of the kid is English and he lives in England. I just need to know, was it the coach in Bend It Like Beckham? How they ended up in a movie?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Oh, that's funny.
You caught it. Gold star for you.
Oh, that's funny.
That is so deep. My favorite question the entire weekend. All right, who's next?
Right here. If Sean and Gus were animals, what animals would they be? And the same goes for you.
Ooh. A jackal. Thank you, psychos.
I know, Sean is such a clown. He's some kind of like chimpanzee or French bulldog or something that lives to entertain its people, right?
I
was thinking a hyena too for Sean. That's what I was thinking.
All right, I think this is our last question.
Well, there's 9 minutes and 38 seconds.
No, we can get more
I
than.
lied.
Yeah, we get 9 minutes
We'll
to
keep
speed
going.
round this. Yeah.
Hello.
Instead of thanking all the volunteers, we're just going to keep answering questions. You know who you are. Yeah.
And we appreciate you.
Yeah, we really do.
Hello.
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 What character development of Sean and Gus stands out to you most, and did you learn and grow with them?
How about I answer for Gus and you answer for Sean? Was that fun?
Sure.
I thought it was really interesting and fun when we decided to make Gus black. Which wasn't until like the second season. But when it happened, it opened up a whole world to us.
See, I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to tell you why. Because in the pilot, Gus put his hands on the dashboard.
That's true.
When the police pulled over. And Sean was like, what are you doing? In that moment, Gus was black. Every black person knows if you get pulled over, you put your hands where the cops can see.
That is true. But yeah, I think I remember us having conversations about that where we're like, look, we should totally use your culture. We should lean into all of that. And I think Psych opened up big time when we were like, yeah, Gus is a black man.
Correct. But I mean, it's funny with that moment too, because I remember neither Rodé or Steve knew what I was doing. I was like, let me tell you something. There's a whole group of people out there that if I don't put my hands on this dashboard, they're gonna say this is bullshit. I'm trying to think with Sean, like a character development. Ooh. What was the original question of it now?
I moved away.
You said what?
It was character development, right?
Yeah. I think, I mean, maybe Sean on the relationship side started to grow into that more, and I think Roday grew into that more. You know,
That's more of a Maggie question. You could just be like,
right? You know, Maggie might say I've heard it both ways. I don't know.
Not around season 5. He just started showing up, and I was like, this is so great. You're present. Well, I owe it all to Steve in the writer's room, guys. I'm a better man now.
I think we all grew during this time. I mean, you know, it's a long time from the pilot to the end of the series to the 3 movies.
We're babies, man.
And to me, the greatest testament to all this, the very end of the 3rd movie, is top 3 scenes ever: the birth of the Guster baby, and it had everything. It had wild chaos. It had the screaming. It had just unbelievable, unexpected jokes, and it's like surrounded around the greatest moment that you can have as a human being, to see your child being brought into the world, and it wrapped up the whole thing of family, and then also puts death as danger on the outside, and police, and it was...
That's why Peacock thought, well, you don't need to do anymore. That was on you, man. You made it too good. Checked too many boxes. And they're like, oh, this is it. This is obviously it.
So now we know what to do. We blame Steve.
But it's a testament to these 2 guys that they could pull off the most ridiculous writing and make you cheer up to it. And that's why we're here in San Francisco, and that's why we're so grateful to each and every one of you for coming out. psychFANcisco. James and Dulé. Dulé Hill.
Know this, Psychos. We love you. We appreciate you. We look forward to spending more time. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Stephanie.
Always remember, Psychos, you are nobody's pawn. You are a queen.
We're all queens.
And here's the lady who made this happen,
Hey,
Stephanie Dion.
Stephanie.
All credit for making all of this